Well, a big drill needs a big chuck. And that's a good sized chuck there. That's a 1-inch number 20 ball bearing chuck on this Morris Mor-Speed radial drill. That looks pretty good after winter storage. Now I had a tarp over this, and I had a trouble light with a 60-watt light bulb burning in here all the time, and it kept it rust free. Yeah. So when I get this inside, this is going to get the treatment that Axelson lathe got, and it'll look like pretty much a new machine. It will look sharp. It's looking pretty good now. But I'm determined that this is the last winter this thing's going to sit outside. Yeah, how about that? Give it a little spin here. It's not quite sitting level, so it'll rotate on its own a bit. Yeah, looking good. Okay, I got small parts of this inside, and we'll go inside and have a look at it. Yeah, here we are. Here's the small pieces that I got to get cleaned up. Here's the clutch and quill handles there. Nuts and bolts and stuff. Of particular interest is these oilers. These you got these sight glasses on them, and I'm going to get these all cleaned up. This one here is kind of gunked up. I don't know if it's leaking, but I'll check it out. I don't think you can buy these anymore. Look at the cup oilers here. They have glass windows in them. Really, really nice. There's 3 of them. Even the little one's got a little window in it. I don't know if I can hold that open. Just needs to be cleaned up real good. And I think I'll use some mineral spirits on it. You can kind of see through that a little bit. But we'll get that all cleared up and get this stuff ready to go on. A little bit concerned about the switch here. It was really out in the weather at the scrapyard. But I think it'll clean up and be okay. Hopefully, anyway. Needs a little work, that's for sure. But it's a Cutler hammer switch. Just a standard one. You can see it has the forward and reverse on it. It's mounted upside down like that, and the handle out there actuated this thing. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, I'll get set up and I'll start cleaning this stuff up a little bit and show how I'm going to do it. Yeah, that radial drill is just a really nice complementary machine to go with this Axelson. Just a great matched pair. And I painted this the same color. This is old Massey Ferguson gray from Rust-Oleum. And it's proven to be really quite good paint. Well, I do a little follow-up here. I chucked up a ring here. and it runs within a thousandths. Oh, run that like that. Yeah, these heavy-duty Bison forged steel chucks are totally amazing. And the third machine that goes with these is my Brown & Sharp No. 2 heavy mill. It's got a sliding vertical head, and there's actually 4 machines that go together, and the other is this cutter grinder. Now the jig bore, and over there with a cover on it, the Monarch 10EE, is a match pair in itself for high precision. Okay, I'll get back to cleaning on those parts that are on the bench. Well, hello there. I'm cleaning up these oil lines on my Radial drill press restoration. And I got a little hand scraper I fabricated, brazed a piece of carbide on there. It's very, very handy. And I'm knocking the paint off this thing. It's got some of the original paint on there, which was workforce green, which was real common on 80-year-old machines. And I've got 4 80-year-old machines in here from World War II, and they're in very good condition. Yeah, see, I can really chunk that off here. I don't know if you can see that. I really like doing this stuff here. And the paint's just knocking off nice. I think I'll just leave this polished copper tubing. I'll buff it or something here. We'll try that in a second with a little wire brush. I tell you right now, I'll reach over here. Oh, stepped on my pedal there. I'm gonna get these glasses here that have side shields because I'm starting to get paint in my eyes. Gotta watch that. So I got this one glass sight oiler here soaking in paint thinner. And I'm not sure what the difference between paint thinner and mineral spirits is. It seems like the same stuff. But it seems to work the same too. So as I knock this stuff off, yeah, it pretty much just flakes off. You can see the old workforce green. I don't know, I'll paint this if it seems necessary. But this is the last of the World War II machines I have to restore. I think my shop press out there is about World War II also, so it's a 50-ton Manly. And that's going to get the good treatment too. I've had to sell off quite a bit of equipment, but I had to evaluate what I'm going to be doing in the future here, and some stuff I just really don't need. And I found that the Axelson lathe is very versatile, and I can do a whole bunch of stuff with it, so I don't need a small turret lathe. I'm sure I'm going to miss the Hardins chucker I had, but I can't really justify the space for it. And what I'm going to be doing is just restoring objects, motors, things like that. Not so many machine tools in the future, I don't think. And I've noticed that machinery is getting a little bit harder to find. Yeah, I really like these old Fordhams here. And I've got a wire brush on here, so you can see me use this. Oh yeah, that's leaving a good finish there. Slow it down a little bit. I got a foot pedal on this one. Just slow it down. Let's see if that makes that copper tube look good. Yeah, that'll be, get this one side of it here. Yeah, I think that'll look pretty good like that. Contrasting with the Rust-Oleum Massey Ferguson, old Massey Ferguson gray. New Massey Ferguson gray is kind of metallic, and it actually looks pretty good. But the old Massey Ferguson gray is, I think, pretty good for machine tools. I found the Rust-Oleum using that Axelson pretty hard for more than a year. It's holding up really good, and it's easy to touch up. So when you put new paint on old paint, it looks a little bit lighter, but it doesn't take very long to blend in. So that's a good deal. Yeah. I like these Fordhams because they're so quiet. The Dremels just, they scream terrible loud. But they're handy in their own way. Yes, his carbide scraper works real good. Actually, see, I grind it, and you can actually pull with it. I'll show you. If I can knock the paint off that fitting by pulling on it. See that? Take my foot off the pedal there. Use the side of it. I like this sort of work. It's relaxing. Chunking that stuff off there. This paint's been on there for a very long time. Especially the Workforce Green, which almost all of these tools, I think all of them were Workforce Green at one time. It's not a color I particularly like, but the Navy instructor, World War II Navy guy they had out here at the community college years and years ago, painted all the machines out there Workforce Green. And he said they did some kind of psychological study back in those days, and machines painted Workforce Green were somehow more cheerful, or more people were more productive somehow. Okay, get my foot back on there. It looks like this part here is steel. Knock that off. Got a little wire brush on here. Might put a wire brush on that other one too. Oh, so nice. Now these glass sight glasses here, I find that these fittings are very tight in it, and I don't want to risk breaking them, so I'm going to leave the fittings in there. I'll take the scraper to that one. Let's see. See how this does on this fitting here. Right before your very eyes, it'll look new. Almost new. It'll never be new. It was only new once. That's loose. I've got air tools like this Fordham that are really nice too. But for something like this is just perfect. It's got good control. I don't know if you can see how I have this rigged up. Kind of a cup-shaped wheel here. I got this vise here mounted on a Flowtron base. I don't know if you can see that. And I think that might be handy to this vise was a little project at the community college machine shop program I did years and years ago. And I've used it. Yeah, see, that makes it pretty nice there. Isn't that looking good? And it's preserving the patina. You don't want to mess with that patina too much, right? This Morris Mor-Speed drill press is a high precision machine. And if you look in the machine shop on the Battleship New Jersey, which is on YouTube, you'll see the identical machine. And I've kind of done some research on them. And the Morris Mor-Speed and a Fosdick model were used on battleships. And they have a different spindle arrangement than the larger radial drills. They had more of a cartridge type spindle like a Bridgeport, but quite a bit more robust. Has 3 ball bearings in the spindle nose and a Timken bearing at the tail end that you can adjust the play. And I did that on a video. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I got a little chunk of paint here to get off. With my little scraper. I like making my own tools when at all possible. Particularly cutting tools. I'll get over, a fellow asked me about collets and stuff I'm using on the cutter grinder. And after this video, I'll do a little video and do a tool review that I have on the cutter grinder. Okay, here's my rig up here. I'll knock the tripod completely over. I have two Fordhams up here. I got a grinding stone in this one, and it's on this rotating boom-like thing here. It even extends, so I can get these things at an optimal spot because of the cable. Back down here. So nice for restoration. I'll include a couple of photos that I have handy of the drill press, what it looked like before I started really doing anything with it, and it was solidly rusted. And the interesting thing about this drill press is it was barely used, hardly used at all. And something happened and it jammed it up where it got stuff in those glide bearings that I got to repair. That's looking really good. Make these fittings look like they're new. Okay, I'm gonna grab this like this. Careful not to damage anything. And get this, like I'm particularly careful with these sight glasses here. I don't think they can be purchased anywhere. New anyway. Good luck finding something like that used. That's looking pretty good there. Okay, I'm going to grab it from the other end and start working it back. How's that looking? Oh, I think it's looking great. Really good. And it does help having this vise here. Help hold that thing. Don't have much for paint on this end. We get those brass nuts cleaned up a little bit. Yeah, it's looking great. Just like that. Yeah, I think I'll leave these natural. Let them kind of do their own thing here. So all this was painted up from the factory. A fellow mentioned that he wants to bore a V8 engine on one of these, and I think you can do it. You just got to fixture the engine. I have a couple of straight cylinder, straight six Chevrolet engines, and I'd likely to do the boring with it, with the radial drill. The radial drills were used in manufacturing. If you look in the old literature, the American Hole Wizard radial drills were used to bore the holes in the headstocks of the American pacemaker lathes. So you can bore with a radial drill. I would like to know what they particularly use the radial drills on the battleships, what they did with them, but I imagine they did some boring in just about everything they could. Just go lightly over this body here. Pretty low RPM. I have some brass brushes for this, but it looks like the steel brush is working fine. Not like ripping the finish off of it, just giving it a nice polish. I'm going to run some mineral spirits, kerosene, and followed by kerosene through these with some compressed air. See if I can get the inside of those glasses pretty clean, you know. Okay, let's get this. A little more rusty and crusty on this side here. Might have to get a straight brush in there. Speed it up a little, huh? Let's get that scraper on there. Work some of that paint off. Yeah, this is going to take a little while to get these cleaned, but it's actually going along pretty good. That little scraper gets in there good. I hope you can see over here what I'm doing. There, see I'm pushing that paint right off there. Take my foot off that pedal. Looking good. There, I got that knocked off. You really got to wear safety glasses even with these little grinders like that. They'll put a little piece of wire right in your eye. Look at that, that's nice there. There's some of that stubborn, use a real good primer under that workforce screen back in the day. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to disassemble these because I'm afraid I'll break them. And I checked on the fittings and they're very tight after all these years. And I don't think they're going to leak. There's several gearboxes on a radial drill. Yeah, these are just steel fittings here. I'll get a look at it here real quick. Whoop. Very good. Okay. Looking pretty good. Get around this little edge here. Okay. Okay, that's the method to the madness here, and I'll just continue. These will be the last thing I'm going to put on the machine because they're so easily damaged, you know. But I think that's going to be acceptable. Okay. Hey, I'll make a video out of this, and you have a good day, and I'll be back with something on that cutter grinder and collets. Okay. Bye-bye.